Guys, there is big news for my favorite home security company. Simply Safe just launched their new wireless outdoor security camera. It has 1080p HD resolution with an 8x zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates. To learn more about this exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplysafe.com/haunted estate. What's more, Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system, and your first month of monitoring service is free when you enroll. Don't forget, guys, check it out, simplysafe.com/haunted estate. Okay guys, thought this would be the perfect moment to pop in and give you a little word from our sponsors, and it's one that I'm in love with because they're out there doing good things in the world and they're trying to make your world a little bit better, and that is BetterHelp.com, BetterHelp.com. What I like about BetterHelp, it is not a crisis line, it's not self-help, it is professional counseling, and it's done securely, confidential. We love those NDAs, baby. But yes, you can send a message to your counselor at any time. You'll get thoughtful responses, and they're all about having, good communication. If you're not vibing, they want to help you find the perfect match for you. I want you guys to start living a happier life today. And as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/haunted estate. That is betterhelp.com/haunted estate.
Welcome to the Haunted Estate.
Hello and welcome to the Haunted Estate, me with your host Selena Myers, and guess what, guys, this is the 100th episode. I will never forget sitting in my totally messy closet. I'm not kidding, the Haunted Estate was birthed in a closet on a $20 microphone that I found on Marketplace in 2014 or something like that. I remember thinking I needed some kind of efficient way to record where there would be no noise, so I literally got in my closet with my clothes and sat on my floor with, I think, an iPad, to be honest with you, and I recorded my first ever episode of the Haunted Estate. And I need to take a little skip back at that and take a look at that podcast because I am so curious as to what that sounds like now. I know it's very much evolved over the years. You guys have been through it all with me. You guys were around, if you're an OG, you were around before TikTok, you were around before YouTube, you were around from the very spooky beginning when it was all just haunted history and stories and stuff like that. Hey, you guys are even around for the podcast Stalker, that was crazy. That's actually kind of why the podcast went on a hiatus. I picked myself up a creeper, and I used to have this toll-free phone number you could call and record your story. So he ended up calling and just recording Bible verses and then telling me he wanted to kill me. So that's totally terrifying. But guys, I do want your stories and I do want to listen to your stories. So send me an email with your story. You can find the email on thehauntedestate.com. I can't believe that this is 100. It is a special episode, guys. We are going to talk about our stay at the Beck house, but the coolest part of this episode ever, Joel, my brother himself, is going to be having his very first psychic reading. We have back Valerie Boyce coming in a little bit. She is wonderful. Joel has some theories on his past life. We'll talk about that before she comes on. We'll just in general. But yeah, guys, Joel is back.
Yeah, thank you, Selena. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say I can't believe it's been 100 episodes. That's crazy. That's a big number. 100 is a lot.
Well, dude, we know I don't stick to anything.
That's crazy. 100 episodes. I can't believe it.
We were in the closet. Now we're in my basement.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Where are we going to be next, dude? That's my next question. Where are we going to be?
We might know, but the viewers have to find out.
Will we be back in a trailer?
Probably not a trailer. As Selena was saying, she loves to hear from all you guys and all your crazy stories, but I think this time it's time for you and I to share our crazy story.
Yeah, actually, this is kind of a wild one. I've been doing this really awesome thing with TikTok. I've been doing a live series for Halloween. It is every single Thursday, and last Thursday we had kind of a crazy experience. If you're hearing this on early Thursday, tune in, 9 p.m. EST. We're gonna be doing some stuff. But last Thursday there, we drove a couple hours away to Beck House. So Beck House is located in, please Joel, try and say it.
Oh, it's northern central Ontario, but it's Peniguishene, but a lot of people call it Penitang.
Penitang.
For slang, for
it's
short.
literally like 27 letters long. I don't want to try and butcher it. But right there is the home to the Beck house, and it is seriously the biggest house I've ever seen.
What is the Beck house?
So the Beck house was built by Charles Beck, and he had his wife and 8 children, and he was very, very, very rich. He had something to do with lumber.
How long ago was this?
The early 1800s.
Mm.
So he built this house for him, his wife, and his 8 children, but quickly his wife did take ill, and his oldest daughter, Mary, was left to raise the children. A big drama ended up happening. She wanted to leave. He took her out of the will except for $1. Luckily, we found out from the owner she did get her inheritance, but he has been seen pipe smoke is smelled all the time. Weird things happen there. Nothing really negative. I kind of say the first negative thing that happened was kind of us being there and what came with that. And it didn't even have to do with ghosts. So I want to say when we got there, it was just, I think, pulling up to this house was
upon arrival,
bananas.
Yeah, it's quite the drive to get there.
Yeah.
It's a rural, small town community, like little neighborhood, and we're coming down some big hill. There's a big green field with like a deforested field, and on the edge of this field is a full-on red mansion.
Oh, mansion.
It's not been left to decay, but it could use some love, is how I would describe it.
Yeah, the owners are in the midst of trying to, turn it back into all of its glory. Well, currently, it is siphoned up into 8 different apartments. As she kind of explained, she's like, yeah, a lot of people have had it over the years, and they've cut it up a bunch of times, but the architecture still stands. It's a beautiful place. I can't imagine just like a family in there though.
Oh, it's a mansion. As Selena was saying, it was 8 apartments. Yeah. The floors are split like 2, 4, and 4, or 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 8 apartments in there. Each one is large. Just the structure, the staircase is unbelievable. Yeah. The railing, like solid oak, incredible.
Old world charm, glorious. So I remember going to get there, and we knew this was haunted. So I think it was about 2 years ago, there was an article that came out, and it's like, hey, stay at this haunted Airbnb. And that was so cool. I read it and I was like, I have to be there. And a couple of years ago I read about this place, and I've dreamt about it on and off for the past couple of years. So I wanted to go there. I felt almost called there, and it was weird. So we go in, they're like, yeah, it's on the top floor. So it's literally like 6 flights of stairs to get to our apartment.
Aren't you missing a part? When we first pulled in the driveway?
Oh, okay, yeah. So we first pulled in, and this kind of actually is the start of the story. Mm-hmm. I kind of made the mistake of saying where I was going to be. So this was fine. There was a bunch of young ladies waiting to meet me, which is incredible. Hi, if you're listening, nice to meet you. They were super respectful and super, super kind. But I did, during that day, talk about where I was going to be. That video on TikTok blew up to about 5 million views.
We post on Instagram too, like our journey there.
I don't know why.
The end destination.
I just, for some reason, thought, okay, we're going to the middle of nowhere. This is not going to be a problem. So we get there. I meet these awesome people. We go up, we grab our keys, which is literally in a skeleton hand. Like, they are like really playing the story here for you, which is great. We make our way upstairs, and we go in, and we kind of like did a walk around the apartment. It's super cute. Like old world charm,
quaint, cozy. The floor creaked as you walk. The little hallway is dark.
It definitely gave you a haunted vibe. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know that you guys love true crime. Now imagine having 2 friends who are obsessed with stories of crime, murder, mayhem, and unsolved mysteries. It's relatable, right? They have a passion for breaking down cases that have been cold for years. Welcome to Generation Y, a podcast where hosts Aaron and Justin give startling theories, dive deep into forensic evidence, and share their bold opinions. In an all-new episode of Generation Y, they examine the case of Jonathan Amaral, a 25-year-old hiking enthusiast who was a biomedical engineer in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, who went missing after a weekend of hiking. He was rumored to have been seeing a coworker, 31-year-old Brittany Barron, who was married with children. After Amaral failed to show up for work, his mother reported him missing. Police later discovered that Barron had called in earlier that day and quit her job. She had also gone missing. Did the two run off together, or had something more sinister happened? You won't believe how this shocking story ends. Listen to Generation Y podcast on Amazon, Apple Music, Podcasts, or you can listen 1 week early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus on the Wondery app. There is not enough true crime out there to satisfy me, guys. Make sure that you check out podcast Generation Y. Okay, guys, thought this would be the perfect moment to pop in and give you a little word from our sponsors. And it's one that I'm in love with because they're out there doing good things in the world and they're trying to make your world a little bit better. And that is BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp.com. This is an amazing website where you can find yourself a therapist. I know the world has been kind of insane for the past couple years. I've been feeling it. I know a lot of people have been feeling it. BetterHelp is an amazing opportunity for you to be able to get your very own therapist, and you don't have to wait in any waiting rooms. Who wants to do that anymore? That feels so 2019. Do you know what I mean? Is there been something in your life that has been keeping you from achieving your goals? I know sometimes in my life I need to talk about some stuff. I need to get out there so I can be the best version of myself that I want to be. BetterHelp assesses your needs and they will match you with your very own professional therapist. It's a nice, safe place. You can be at home, you check in online, you can even send your therapist text messages and stuff like that to keep yourselves on the same page. What I like about BetterHelp, it is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling and it's done securely, confidential. We love those NDAs, baby. But yes, you can send a message to your counselor at any time. You'll get thoughtful responses and they're all about having, good communication. If you're not vibing, they want to help you find the perfect match for you. It is available worldwide. Who doesn't love that? See, the thing is, it's hard to ask for help. It's hard to go out there, but if you need it, you need to do it for yourself. They have licensed professional counselors who specialize in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBTQ matters, grief, and self-esteem. Guys, I don't want you to suffer alone in silence anymore. I know that I did for a really long time, and sometimes I get caught in it and I'm like, no, I don't need help and I'm fine and I'll figure it out, but that's not always the case. I want you guys to start living a happier life today. And as a listener, you will get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/hauntedestate. That is betterhelp.com/hauntedestate. But what ended up happening, we came up and we saw this doll and I was like, this is a creepy doll. So then we went into the other room and we were reading this book. So a book had been left where you can leave your haunted experiences. And someone talked about the green doll and we go back into the room to see the doll again. And the doll is pulled out, 8 inches from the back of the dresser.
Yeah. And Selena and I are filming this whole thing for content, right? I'm carrying the camera, filming Selena as we first entered the premises. And once we read the book that past visitors said to look out for the doll, we went back into the room to look at the doll. We thought the doll had moved. Well, we were recording. Let's check the camera.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So this is fucked. So that whole area, for some reason, nowhere else in this apartment, the camera had black lines on it. When we went into this area, you'll see it in the YouTube video. It's coming out this Tuesday coming up. So you see the video before you see this podcast. But there were these black lines. So we're going into the camera. Camera's overheated. Can't show you. I'm like, what the fuck?
Brand new camera. Full battery.
New ball sack camera. Sorry, I don't know why I said ball sack. I meant brand. Adam's laughing in the other room. Brand new camera. And then here's the thing. It cools down. Open it. Won't show me images. It says can't show images. Can't show it. I had no way to even check if that was like that. So I ended up getting, obviously, I pulled all the memory cards out to send them away to check Corey. Half of those clips are completely gone. They're just gone.
Crazy.
Which is very weird. I don't know if Corey will be able to pull some of them or something like that. But it was bananas. And it was just weird to go in that room. And that's the only time those lines showed up, when that's the room where a lot of the energy happened. So just little tiny things happen. And we had 9 o'clock. So we went out for dinner and 9 o'clock was when we were going to start our live. So we went downstairs before we started it and we were out front.
There's a sign out front.
This says Beck House. Yeah. And so there we were out front and cars just started pulling up. So there were, I don't know how many cars in total.
12, 14 maybe.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cars and they just started, hooting, hollering, Selena Spooky Boo.
They're obviously fans, which we love fans.
No, I love that. That was super respectful. Here's the thing. I'm going to be really honest. I do love getting approached in public and stuff because seeing, I see numbers, right? And being able to actually meet the people that watch my videos means so much to me. There is no me without you. I love hearing the things that you love. I'm the kind of person, I know this is all fleeting. This will not be forever. So I want to enjoy it. I want to embrace it. Are you excited to meet me? I'm excited to meet you. I want to hug you. Let's talk. But this night, something scary happened. And it had me a little shook, and I actually ended up leaving the property earlier because I was a little worried kind of about my safety at that point. But after we started our live, like everyone was like calling out, and I'm guessing like a lot of people stayed in their cars and watched the live. So I headed upstairs, and I think, you know, we're on the top floor, right? So we can't hear anything that's going on outside. We were on the
third floor.
Third floor, yeah.
Third floor, yeah.
Is it fourth floor?
Oh, you're right. Sorry, my bad. It was the fourth floor.
Which is the top floor. Yeah, like we were in the attic.
There's no way we could hear anything going on the ground.
Yeah, there was no way we could hear what was going on. So we did our seance. Some stuff happened. We had amazing spirit box session, amazing Ouija board session. Holy shit. And that's all going to be in the YouTube video, but we didn't know what was going on. So after, you know, it was really hot up there, we were overwhelmed. I'm like, there's a rainstorm. I'm like, let's go outside, let's get some fresh air. So we ran down the stairs, and to get into this building, there's like a big front heavy door with like one of those gridded windows with the glass.
Like you have a lock and key that opens to basically a hallway and steps, and then each apartment is locked after that. So it's like it's like a shared stairwell, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And Selena is in lead, and I'm behind her. I don't think I'm filming at this point, but we're coming down the steps, and it's like, I would call it a school door, right?
Yeah.
It's like a door you would see in your high school, like big metal door, and then like the top half is glass with like that metal mesh in it.
Yeah.
It's smashed.
Like it is smashed. Like someone went so hard at it, and I looked at Joel and I was like, this wasn't smashed before, was
that
it?
broken? And I just look at Selena puzzled, like I can't remember. I didn't pay attention. So all right, we just step out on the porch and we pull up our phones and photos and camera footage from before, and we're zooming in, and sure enough, it was not smashed before we started our live.
So I'm standing out there and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? So I look to my left. It's funny. And there's a Furby. There's a Furby with a letter on the steps, and these amazing women had dropped me off this Furby. A few minutes later, they come running up the driveway, and they're like, we saw what happened. So after the live started and we went inside, a royal blue Volkswagen pulled up full of a bunch of teenage boys, and they ran up and they were hooting and hollering, and they were like trying to get in, and they smashed the window, and they were like banging on it really hard. Like apparently it was some really aggressive behavior. So once they smashed the window, like they took off. But I was just so taken aback because like, you guys know that, especially if you've been listening to the podcast, or if you follow any of my, you know, more traumatic stories of things that have happened in my life, I just felt very, very scared.
And it was only you and I there, just so everyone knows. Yeah. Like our team, it was just Selena and I.
Yeah, it was just out of our team. Yeah, it was just you and I. And like, I have a lot of PTSD when it comes to doors, and I can't handle knocking and stuff like that. But the fact that some teenage boys had come up and had tried to get into us, like, I know it was probably coincidence and just trying to scare us or something like that. But because of the things that I have lived through, there's this part of me that was absolutely terrified.
Yeah, to be in a strange town, unfamiliar with the area, and someone's smashed the window, broken a window, trying to access you. It really...
Well, it was scary too, because like I just got this new car, and I was so scared that they were going to come back and like smash out the windows on the Tesla or something like that.
Which unfortunately has happened in our life before.
Yeah, we've had the windows smashed out of our family's cars twice. Like we've lived through some crazy shit for sure. So when it came to that night, like I went up and I really wanted to do a lot more, you know, investigating and trying to talk to spirits and make a really bomb-ass YouTube video, which I'm hoping it turns out. But like I really shut down after that, and it just kind of put it in perspective, because like 99.999% of all my followers are amazing, but like you never know if you're going to run into that hater, because like, hey, I'm someone on the internet, and sometimes I get some really vile stuff, and I get threats for simply fucking existing. So it was absolutely terrifying that night, because hey, like I said, I'm sure they were there to be funny, and they were trying to get a rise out of us, you know, because we're doing this paranormal investigation, and ooh, this house is haunted, and
we're on a live with over 1 million people that came through to see our live.
1 million people came through that live, which was amazing. But it was crazy. So I called Adam and he's like, yeah, like we'll pay for the door. Like that's just something, you know, I just don't want the owners to have to like deal with stuff. So I got a hold of them, you know, come around midnight and a half. The police were there. We were able to get the license plate for the kid, and I actually haven't heard back from them. I should literally check and see.
Yeah. Thank you again for the 2 bystanders that
Yes.
came up that saw what occurred and actually waited
to tell us and gave me a Furby. Like,
we wouldn't have known if it wasn't for them. It was like completely,
yeah,
they're the ones that put the wheels in motion.
I still have not heard from her, so I need to call them and keep checking up because I want to make sure that I cover that. The owners there are amazing. They're a retired couple, and staying at the Beck house was truly an experience. I loved it, but
Yeah, I would suggest it. Brenda is a sweetheart,
and her husband is
very
amazing.
Nice. Yeah, very nice.
But I did get scared, but it wasn't by ghosts this time.
Yeah, but like, just truth be told, 100%, it was Selena and I, Selena's presence, which brought it on.
What, the ghosts?
No,
or the kids. Yeah, that was one thing. She was like, oh, this kind of stuff, like, that doesn't happen, but people come up and knock because they think it's haunted and stuff. And I'm like, I think it was because of me this time. Yeah. I know it was because of me this time. But I really like that town. It was cool, but we definitely peeled out. It took us till about 4:30 in the morning to get home.
I didn't get in bed until 5:45 a.m.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was quite a drive.
Yeah, it was literally, and then we were supposed to record this the day after, but I was like, dude, I can't. I'm like emotional and I'm tired and I'm exhausted and it's gonna be a good time. But yeah, guys, 100 episodes, 100 times of me sitting down and talking for like 40 minutes.
Again, it's hard to grasp. Like, obviously you guys all watch this, but like right now I'm just sitting in a room with my childhood sister who I grew up with, talking to her, and to think that millions of people will hear this and listen to this and choose willingly to listen is that's what's really amazing. They want to hear you talk. It's crazy. Yammer, bammer, whammer, tammer.
What did you think of the Beck house?
Oh, loved it. The charm, the elegance. I can't imagine what it once was when it was new. We bought a drone, used it for the first time. I don't know if the footage is going to make it into the video, but...
What'd you do to the drone,
I crashed the drone.
Where'd you crash the drone?
Twice. Once into a tree and once on the roof.
But it made it down. When it fell on that roof, I was like, oh, it's gone. But it hit the ground. I saw the footage of it falling, and it was just like spinning.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Not the easiest thing to fly for all you viewers out there.
What did you think of the spirit box?
Loved it.
Yeah, wasn't that incredible?
Very interesting.
Like, it was so weird to like know the names of the people in the house.
And the words come up.
And the words literally come up.
Or you ask a question and it answers.
Like immediately. You're like, how? That was one thing. Like, we didn't find out a lot of it until after, when we talked to the owner, when we were waiting for the police. And I literally said, like, because we didn't know how the daughter died, but like Mary, the oldest, but I thought she probably died of old age. And we asked, like, how'd you die? And and through the spirit box, it was just like, I was sick. And then we find out that she literally died of like sepsis. So like she was very fucking sick. And then Mary coming through, and like then we had this weird moment where one of them said they couldn't pass through because they had unfinished business with their sister. So I was like, okay, like I need you to understand, like it's year 2021. She's like, I don't understand. I'm like, your sister isn't alive anymore. She passed on. Like, you need to go to where she is and stuff like that. And she was like, I don't get it. And then I'm like, you have to go. And I don't know what happened, but then they disappeared. Then there was no more answering to the spirit box, no matter what we asked. So like, did we cross spirits over? Like, that'd be awesome. Doubt it. Unless, you know, residual haunting. But I felt like we had a really active, real conversation, which was absolutely sick.
Yeah, it was great. I really liked it. And we kept our eye on the doll for the rest of the duration there.
It didn't move around anymore, really.
No.
One question I have for you, though. So this was your first time using a spirit box. This was your first time using a Ouija board.
Yeah, I've seen a Ouija board, but I've never used one before.
What was your favorite?
Spirit box.
Yeah?
Why? I feel like the Ouija board could be tampered with.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, are you moving it? No. Are you moving it? No. It's like, well, it feels like you're moving it. But then sometimes it even feels like I'm freaking moving it.
Yeah, and just the slightest movement,
really shifts it. But the spirit box is cool
because the spirit box is completely out of your control.
Yeah, and it's just manipulating.
You have nothing to... You just turn it on.
I get that sometimes some of the answers are going to be coincidence.
Yeah.
But then some of them are also not going to be coincidence. Yeah. It's like, and it answers immediately,
Oh.
like within a second.
As if they're in the room when you ask the question.
Yeah, it's bananas. Anyways, I want to tell you a little bit about Post Malone. Listen to this, okay? So he touched some haunted object or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but he was told it was haunted. He touched it. I don't know if he was all like, haha, whatever. But after he touched it, crazy shit happened, eh? So first, he was involved in a plane emergency where the tires of his private jet blew out on the runway right after he touched the haunted object.
Mm-hmm.
Next, his old house was broken into by gun-toting intruders.
Mm-hmm.
Then a week after that, he was involved in a car crash where his Rolls Royce collided with another car. So he thinks that it's all because of this haunted object. But yeah, he visited a haunted museum in Las Vegas. Oh, it's going to be probably Zach Bagans. Yeah, he was at Zach Bagans' haunted museum.
Oh, cool.
And he touched a Dybbuk box. Don't fuck with Dybbuk box. The Dybbuk box, from what I understand, it's usually put together and it's like sealed with wax. But if you open it, you're going to be cursed. But that's crazy.
Man, famous people.
And a lot of things happen in threes. You know what they say, like, you're going to run into me. You're going to run into him 3 times. 3 bad things are going to happen. 3 good things. I totally believe in all of that.
I believe things happen in threes.
Like, I always feel like the universe is always giving me messages and directions. And I feel like, you know, like, literally, I explained this to Joel when we were on our way to this. Were we on our way there? We're driving along and there's 2 dogs on the side of the road. And I'm like, Joel, we need to get out. He's like, oh, they're probably on a farm over here. And I'm like, no, Joel, the universe put it in my place.
That's when we were driving to Stratford.
Stratford.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, something's happened. We're supposed to do it. It happened again too.
Did it?
Yeah. And I was like, Joel, we had to do it. We were supposed to be here at our time. I just think that, like, the universe, it's not that it's testing you, but I feel like the universe puts these things in front of you. And if you act in the right way,
it makes it cross your path.
It makes it cross your path because you're the one that'll help. You're the one that can help. And it's not like it's going to bring good things to you. It's not like some kind of karma thing. But I feel like if some situation is unfolding in front of you and there's like 3 people or you're the only person it's unfolding in front of, it's because you're supposed to help, like a car accident or a dog running on the road. I can't tell you how many times I've pulled over to check boxes. Joel always laughs at me to this day. The snow was melting and there was this lunch pail on the side of the road. And he's like,
highway.
No.
Side of the highway.
Yes, we had to get off the highway.
Like, go on the off ramp, turn around, go back on the on ramp to go, like, back to where we were.
And there was nothing in there.
It was a lunch pail filled with soil, literally.
But, like, what if it was a kitten?
What if it was gold? But the 2 dog thing, really, like, I'm driving, Selena's riding shotgun. We're going down the road. There's 2 random dogs running around. Selena's like, Joel, pull over. Pull over. Pull over.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, pull over. Put in reverse, start backing up.
The lady pulls over
Another
also.
random bystander, probably a believer in universe like us, stops at the same time. Do you know? No, I don't know. I'll go to this farm. You guys go to that farm. We'll check it out. We go to one farm. She goes to the other. The dogs take off into the corn. Miraculously, she contacted the owner. The owner went and got them, brought them back inside. And then she came back to the farm we were, where we met that guy with the accent.
Yep.
And then I found the owners. And it, as fate would have it, everything worked out.
And then on the way home, I remember the other one. We pulled in to go take video down in a forest. And right when we got out of the car, these other girls were just walking. Yeah, these girls were just walking into the woods, and it was like dark. And right as we're coming out, boom, we get out of our cars. They've dropped their keys, and it wasn't a car key. It was like a house key. So like they could totally miss it when they came back.
It was really small.
Really small. So I was like, Joel, this is their key. So that's another one of those like universal
I grab
moments.
the keys and go running in. Excuse me, did you drop your key? And sure
they did.
enough,
They did. That's crazy. Universe is there. But today, the universe is coming to you because we have Valerie. And Valerie is going to be doing a reading for you. And I've asked her to do like some past life stuff. So before we get into it with Valerie, I want to ask you what your theories are on who you were in a past life.
Even, I love talking about past life. Selena can vouch for this. Even when I was a young child, all the time, I would say, I think I was Asian in a past life.
Yeah. Like what kind of Asian?
I don't know. But I just find like historical Eurasian continent interesting. I like the architecture. Whenever, like, for example, I play some video game where it just happens to be based in medieval Asia, and then I feel like I have a sense of coming home.
Do you have like a connection to the music sometimes?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love music. I'm a music guy.
Now what are you hoping to hear? from Valerie also.
Honestly, I am going into this so eyes wide, so don't know where it's going to go, where it's going to lead, what she's going to ask, what I'm going to ask, what's going to come. It's like a blank I've recently picked up a thing of painting. It's like I have a blank canvas in front of me.
She might ask
and a bunch of colors.
She might ask you for a couple questions. Like, is there something like you really want to know? Like, is there something like you
house prices, are they coming down?
No, is there anyone you're hoping will come through? I didn't have anyone come through during like my readings, but is there anyone that like, would you lose your shit if grandma came through?
I would, but just the truth. I don't feel like I have anything to ask Zena.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice if she came through?
Yeah, but what would she say?
You're already gonna cry, dude?
She's proud of me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would say.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna take a quick little break here, and we will be right back with Valerie Boyce. Do you know what is spookier than seeing a black cat on Halloween? Having 2 hairy full moons in your face. When it comes to below the waist grooming, get your man to shave his pumpkins this Halloween, because Manscaped is here to upgrade his grooming experience. Go from bite-sized candy to a king-size candy bar and get him to join 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off, free shipping when using the code HAUNTED. Guys, I'm going to tell you right here, my package showed up from Manscaped and I opened it, and I have never seen Adam so excited to shave his balls. I'm throwing him under the bus here, guys. It's been a decent 6 months and I might have been begging for a while, but I opened that, he saw that trimmer, he grabbed it, he ran off to the bathroom, and I was like, hey baby, trick or treat. Have you ever been with a dude whose balls look like Michael Jackson in the Thriller music video? Well, luckily Manscaped is here to save the day and make sure your man is trimmed and smelling fresh with their new redefined body wash. Ladies, you are going to love their signature scent. Unlock his confidence with the Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you will find the holy grail of men's grooming items. They have made it easy for him to upgrading his grooming routine. It is a full moon out, and the werewolf in his pants is howling. It is time to tackle that problem with the Lawnmower 4.0. I think that's my favorite thing in there, guys. Their finely tuned pube products feature a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is easily the greatest ball trimmer on the whole planet. Oh, did I mention that this trimmer is waterproof too? It is literally a shower essential. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker, a total game changer to his hygiene arsenal. The Weed Whacker is a nose and ear trimmer that provides proprietary skin-safe technology that helps prevent nicks, snags, tugs in those super delicate holes. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner will make sure his pumpkins stay fresh. Trust me when I say this, fellas, your balls will thank you. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts in their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and your boxers to a whole new level. If he's looking like Wolverine and he hasn't cut his nails recently, be sure to look into the Shears 2.0 nail kit. They have a bunch of other life-changing products on their website, and make sure to check it out. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code HAUNTED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code HAUNTED at manscaped.com. Say trick or treat to this beautiful new Halloweeny with Manscaped. Guys, there is big news from my favorite home security company. SimpliSafe just launched their new wireless outdoor security camera. That is right, SimpliSafe, the system that US News and World Report names the best home security system of 2021. And it just got better. The brand new outdoor security camera is engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you want to help keep you and your family safe. Yo guys, you know that my house is tricked out in cameras. I wouldn't be able to catch all of those amazing sleepwalkers vlogging videos for you guys if security cameras were not a thing. It has ultra-wide 140-degree field view, so you can keep a watch over your entire yard. It has 1080p HD resolution with an 8x zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates to capture that critical evidence. This camera has it all, and it integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, extending its protection to the outside. Together, it means every door, every window and room are protected, and now your property will be too. To learn more about this exciting new Simply Safe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplysafe.com/haunted estate. What's more, Simply Safe is celebrating this new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system, and your first month of monitoring service is free when you enroll. Don't forget, guys, check it out, simplysafe.com/haunted estate. Hi guys, and welcome back. We are here with Valerie Boyce, the intuition witch herself. She's here, and as I promised earlier, Joel is having his first reading. He has never done anything like this before, and we are so excited for this 100th episode. We had to bring Valerie back. You guys love her, so welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am too. I'm just so curious to see, because I know like Joel has like some things he's like always kind of questioned about himself, and just to see it in general, because I feel like Joel's so new to this world in general, paranormal spooky stuff. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too, and that actually really like kind of helps everybody who's listening see the difference in a reading and stuff too, because like when I read for you, you are very spiritually open. It's a huge difference, right? You've got a lot of experience in this field, whereas Joel, who's a little more new coming into it, he might have some more interesting things come out, but we'll see.
Yeah,
he's so open.
I don't have anything, but we were just talking about it before, and as I described it, I'm like a blank canvas with paint here, or that's how I want to seem. So
yeah, he's just excited at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You've never had a reading done before?
Never.
He doesn't even watch horror movies. I know that's a weird thing to correlate with each other, but I feel like there's like there's like this big, spectrum when it comes to, psychics and all of that kind of stuff, where you're either like you're into it or you're not. So he's someone who's never even been into anything like this, but slowly opening up.
Oh, so you're giving me a tricky one then. I have to break through the skeptic wall.
Oh, don't let him think he has a wall. He's a mushy sweetheart over there.
Yeah, basically, if you want to take it away.
All right. So the first thing I want to do, and it's up to you if this part remains public or not, but I need to get a little bit of personal information from you, which is your full name and then your birthday, and then we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah, so my first name's Joel, Joel, and then maybe block this part out, but I'm born.
Awesome. All right. So let's start out, since you are a little bit more new at this, let's start out with tapping into the spirit guides and see what kind of messages they have for you that pertain to your life right now. And then we'll just kind of take things from there.
Okay.
That's exciting.
So, first off, I'm seeing that there's some manifestations that you've been trying to bring into your life that are kind of blocked right now. They're not really coming forward in the way that you would like them to. And I feel like this is more in regards to your own like personal career and like major development as far as like self and where you see yourself in this world. I feel like it's like you really need to find your voice, find your truth, find what brings you passion and joy. And I feel like you're on the path of doing that, but it's like you're finding a lot of distractions along the way, which are kind of setting you back. Okay. Does that make sense?
It's almost scary. It's so relatable already. It's almost scary. It's so relatable.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what else they say. See if they have any advice towards this.
Like the no voice thing, sometimes I think everyone struggles with their own confidence a little bit. Like, life goals and changes. I just changed careers because I'm working for Selena full time. Basically, I only did one thing really before that this whole time. So that was a drastic change. I'm trying to get married, trying to buy a house. There's a lot going on, It's
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes a lot of sense then. Okay. Well, I have to let you know, home ownership is in the near future for you, so that's nothing to be worried about. But now is not the time for you to be sitting down and like kind of waiting for things to come at you. Now is the time for you to be exploring things, to be trying new adventures, trying different things that you've really kind of been maybe too afraid to try in the past, or you just maybe never knew these things existed in the past. Really open yourself up to those things. Try to get yourself as much as you can out of your comfort zone is really the best way of saying it.
Love
Um,
it.
Okay. Now, I'm also seeing that I feel like you tend to have some blocks when it comes to money personally. I feel like this is like I say it, kind of like a fear of change through success. It's like you don't want money to change you, but you also don't want it to change the way other people see you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so this is like a major block here because I feel like it's kind of like you're pre-projecting what you already want, like what you don't want to take place, which unfortunately in the long run, it's like you're going to actually end up manifesting that if you don't kind of see into it now and do the work really behind it to understand why. Where did that belief system come from, and does it serve you? Do you really feel like you're gaining anything from it? Time to move on, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay. Now, interestingly enough, I am getting a little bit of information here about career as well. I feel like there is a lot of change going on for you, and I feel like one part of the change that you're feeling and you're seeing and you're enjoying is the idea of the traveling side of things and the meeting different people, different cultures, different communities of people, and being around new environments that you've never experienced before. Make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love trying new things.
Okay. Okay. So I feel like that's like trying new things, getting to explore, traveling. It's going to be a major focus for you for the next little while of time. And then I also feel like you are trying to go on this like soul journey of awakening yourself through different experiences, but it's almost like you don't want to turn it on kind of thing. There's still that little bit of fear there where you don't want to believe certain things are happening to you, happening around you, even some of the good things that have like happened to you. It's like it's hard to believe these things are actually happening. Make sense?
It does.
Another belief system that you have to get rid of. You have to just let go and trust the fact that you deserve these things and that you are allowed to have good things happen to you because you are a good person. There's nothing wrong with the things that are happening. You just have to accept it for what it is and thank whoever it is that's giving it to you, maybe the universe, maybe your guides, whoever's bringing it in, but start small if you need to, but let go of that belief system because it's going to take you leaps and bounds in the spiritual world as well. Because I feel like there is a real big interest in it. I feel like you have an attachment to it, like as far as like wanting to explore it even further, but for your own purposes of kind of like a history. You like history behind things. Does that make sense?
Love history.
Oh, he's such a history
Love
buff.
history.
Yeah.
I got a suit of armor in my bedroom.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
And the traveling thing, Selena and I might have. Well, we do. We got a pretty big trip coming up here. It's,
Yeah. New York to LA, baby.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Which I've
Yes.
never been to either, so that'll be all
and
new.
he is really excited, like you said, like
Cultural.
excited to meet people. He's about to meet my manager, which we're both very obsessed with.
Selena's never met him either.
I haven't. Not in real life. Not in real life.
Hey, that's it. It's all good as long as you get to connect finally. That's all that matters. I know how that
real
feels.
life's so different, right? Like finally
is.
seeing someone in real life. Yeah.
It is. You're right. All right. So, Joel, I'm also getting some past life information for you.
This is what
it's
I'm really
really-
interested.
That's what I thought, because this is what's really kind of been coming up for me, and the majority of this is connected to past life stuff as well, especially when it comes to money. You're gonna find this kind of funny, but I do feel like there is a bit of a wild side to your past life. in a very sexual way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a part of you that was mastered and explored in a very previous past life for you, which is what makes it a little bit feeling icky in this life. It's like you're not really sure how to manage your relationships in that way, things to explore, and it's about becoming more intimate, right? Becoming more intimate with yourself. You used to have a previous life, I should say, where you were very intimate with yourself, but you've become disconnected from that. And that takes place during that previous life where there was a block that took place. And I feel like it was in regards to the time frame that you were living in more, and the fact that there was shame taking place, as well as a lot of medical health situations for you in that past life. Therefore, this lifetime, I feel like it's like you're very conscious of your health for sure. It's like anytime something's going wrong, anytime you feel something, is off with yourself, you're like trying to figure out how to fix it. What do I do? What's wrong? What happened? What did I do? And there's a lot of almost anxiety built up in there because of that. And that anxiety, I feel, has been built up from the sacral energy from the actual past life that was tied together in a weird kind of way here, where it's like you need to get it all out so that you can become intimate with your own body, and not like in like a sexual way in this particular way, but intimate in the way that you get to know your body, like what it's naturally supposed to feel like, how it's supposed to feel when it's discomforting, like body pains, growing pains, all those different kinds of things. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
It's incredible. This is so accurate. It's incredible. It's
funny because with Joel, like if you ever bring up like anything like talking wise that's like sexual, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. Or like any funny like dirty jokes, he's wildly uncomfortable.
It's almost like I'm hearing the thoughts in the background of my head. Really is what it's like. How does one become more intimate with themselves?
I would explore your own truth. I would explore the reasons why you were not intimate with yourself. And initially, I would start with feelings and emotions, because intimacy starts with that connection through feelings and emotions. And if you don't even want to like touch feelings and emotions with a 10-foot pole, intimacy is like, totally out there. You don't even want anything to do with it, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe exploring like processing emotions, and like what are different emotions that you were allowed to experience when you were a child? What weren't you allowed to experience? Did you have any emotions that ever scared you that you didn't get to process, kind of thing? Because this is all stuff that we actually like hold on to in emotional baggage, and then transpires into the shit that we take into our next life. So if you can deal with it now, and you can understand what's really holding you back in this lifetime, you don't have to take it with you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a goal, baby.
That's a deep one.
That's a goal.
That's deep.
All right. Let's see if there's anything else connected to this. If there's any way that we can get you some help from those spirit guides.
I know that Joel, weird question. Joel is really curious as to like what nationality he could have been in a past life. Because I know with mine, it was like super interesting. Like I was some Viking asshole. Like I live with that now. Like anytime I find myself being like a bossy asshole, I'm like, it's okay. I was a Viking, yo. Like
Well, okay. This might kind of shock you a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. I feel like you probably also, Joel, have a particular interest in these types of people. But I hope that I am saying it correctly, but I feel like this is like a native tribe that's like the kind of tribe that is maybe in South Africa, living on an island, offshore kind of thing, separated from humanity, and a lot of wild animals incorporated into the tribe.
I do love nature.
Yeah.
I love being isolated.
Yeah.
Like water is a huge thing in this as well. And just the concept of like being in the sun, being in nature, like sleeping on the sand kind of thing, like right on the beach, but also interacting with large cats specifically as like part of the tribal animal kind of thing.
Cool.
Okay.
Not actually a cat guy, but love nature, water baby. Selena and I can swim like fishes since we were children.
we love the beach. We love stuff like that. So that's crazy.
More like lions and tigers and cougars and that kind of stuff.
Huh.
Big cats.
Interesting.
Yeah, big cats, those kind of things. And I think really that it speaks to the type of courage that you held in that lifetime and the way that you responded to animals through like the animal communication and the bond that's there with them. And that's what I think kind of has been taken forward into this lifetime, as far as the fact that you have the ability to see into animals in ways that you see a bond in there and you see into their pain. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some animals he really connects to. Other ones, not all, but the ones that he does, like Maisie, like that's his little soul baby, and he knows exactly what she needs.
I sleep with my dog every night right against my leg.
Yep. Same, bro.
And animals are sort of like similar to humans in the way that like sometimes they'll let you read them and other times they'll block you out because they don't know you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting, though. I like that. Let me see what else I'm getting about that, too, though. This nationality is not from any time in our recent history. I think this is like from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago kind of thing.
Pre-civilization, what am I trying to think of? Who were the very first people? What were they called?
Neanderthals.
Like Neanderthal type of...
That kind of thing, but sort of like more civilized to the point where they're building and living in their own shelters and like have like tribal sort of breakdown of who does what job and they all function together. But there isn't a lot of people. There's only a small group of them.
Okay.
It's kind of more, it's not so much about, it doesn't really have like that feeling of like who's going to be in charge next and following a leader kind of feeling. It's more of the feeling of survival and just being the observer to the situation to survive as far as you can kind of thing, which is why I really get the feeling that it's like very far back in the past and like underdeveloped time frames kind of thing, because there's so much of unknowns and not knowing what comes next.
That's awesome.
Wow.
It's interesting. Which I kind of feel like that sort of speaks to like what's brought forward in this lifetime too, in the sense of like, I feel like when there's big change coming into your life, Joel, that and especially like unknown change kind of thing, where you have no idea how it's going to play out for you down the road, it's terrifying. Like,
that's incredible. Even my mom always said as a kid I didn't like change.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
He's
not a change baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You know what, though? Just having this kind of awareness over the fact that it's connected to a past life and now it's affecting you in this current lifetime in the way that it is, it actually allows your soul to be able to detach and let go from those things in ways that you probably would never even think of, but you'll find yourself becoming more comfortable with change and knowing that you can kind of predict how it's going to go down because of the type of civilization we live in now, right?
Yeah. Wow.
No, that's cool. One question. Do we live more than one past life? Like how many times do people come back?
Everybody, it's different, really. Like, I can't say one number for everybody kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from what I have been reading in the spiritual world and like, I've been studying this stuff since I was like, I don't know, grade 7. But what I've been reading in the spiritual world more recently is that in the past 10 years, a lot of past life hypnosis regressionists have been finding people that have either lived multiple lifetimes and basically, in a sense, completed their experience here, if you will.
Okay. Yeah.
But then they've come back to be a part of this great massive awakening that we're going through. And it's like the vibrational frequency of the planet is leveling up, as well as the vibrational frequency of the people that are within this experience, right? So it's like there was this call put out and they came back, but then there are still those spirits here that have only got like maybe 20 lives under their belt, but those are the ones that are living like very karmic style lifestyles. Does that make sense?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel like I don't know if it was the Tibetan Book of the Dead or something like that, but I remember like reading about that and, you know, like the old souls and the enlightenment and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and see, like I follow, I want to say probably about 6 or 7 different hypnosis people that practice and they share their stuff publicly. And this is all stuff coming right from the mouths of the people in trance. And it's all different information coming from different places kind of thing, but it meshes together. So in my mind, I'm really starting to think like something's going on here. Like there's a lot of confusion going on about the other side, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the other side?
In what retrospect do you mean?
Is there another side? Do you always come back, or what happens?
You don't necessarily always come back. Sometimes it's like your journey here is over. The experience that you needed to gain as a soul is over, so you would go on. But as far as my personal beliefs go, I really do believe that this is just a lower dimensional frequency that we live in, whereas where we would be going and transpiring to is a much more higher frequency that our lower dimensional minds cannot fathom in most cases. We're getting to the point where we actually can, but we can't at this time. But personally, I would say it's just other dimensions that are existing all around us at the same time. We just don't really see them to interact with them.
I love that. That's exactly how I feel.
I like that.
That's the way, like, Adam and I are really into that stuff, and that's kind of our group belief here too.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, actually, Selena, there was something that I was kind of feeling about after we finished your reading, and another psychic had come and told this to me, and it made me think of you right away. And it was about how there are so many spiritual people coming here today that, like, it's like our souls have been called back to come here for the purpose of actually helping to, in a sense, release the souls that are stuck in the lower vibrational frequency that passed many, many years ago. So kind of like the haunting situations, right? I hate that they're stuck because they're not really stuck. It's just they don't know that they're not really here, right? They need to be.
That is... You know what's so weird that you just said that, because we just finished recording talking about the Beck house, which is where we stayed at on Thursday. And we had like a spirit box session, and this person came through and she said that she had this unfinished business with her sister, but she passed away in the 1800s, and we knew that. And I told her, I explained to her that like her sister wasn't here anymore and her sister had passed on, and she was like, I don't understand. Like, and it literally came through the spirit box. She's like, I don't understand. And like we explained to her that like her sister isn't here and her sister's passed away and like she needs to like move on. And then after we explained that, she was just kind of like, okay. And then we never got anything again on the spirit box. So like she's been there for so long, and then we explained that like her sister is not here, like it's the 2021, and she's like, that doesn't make sense. So it was weird because after that, nothing on the spirit box, nothing. So it was weird that you said that. Yeah. We just talked about that before we started this like during the podcast. Yeah, goosebumps.
It's totally part of your purpose. It has to be, as far as like your abilities, what you were talking about in our last connection there, and like the things that you can do and stuff. Like if you're that open and comfortable and able to have that communication and conversation with them, you have no idea the service that you're doing to the souls that are like sort of trapped here in a sense, because they don't know, right?
Yeah, it's just like it. I feel like they're like, do you ever have those weird dreams where you're talking to everybody around you and nobody can hear you and nobody can see you, and like that's how I feel a lot of these spirits are. They don't know, and they're just disconnected, and they just don't know how to take those next steps. And then the next step is literally just understanding the current situation, is the fact that like they're just not here anymore. Yeah,
I know exactly. I feel the exact same way. Yeah,
that's crazy. Oh
Wow.
my gosh. Wow.
It is crazy. Now to say, going back to Joel here, when it comes to your career, moving down the road and stuff like that, I do feel like you are going to spend quite a bit of time hanging out, doing stuff with Selena and doing the stuff through social media. But I also feel like there's quite a bit of adventure that you want to explore on your own. And I'm kind of getting like something to do with like writing and journalism in a way. Does that make sense?
Funny, not no, like
he's not confident enough in himself.
I'm not a writer. Selena is an author. I am not.
You could be though. He comes up with great ideas.
Selena got all the genes for that. I didn't.
See, I don't mean like writing books kind of thing. I mean like writing about like an experience, like going to a place and talking about what you see, what the experience is there. Kind of like writing for magazines, like journalism in that way kind of thing.
That could be
That'd be interesting.
You'd have fun with that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, not like creative writing, like you got to come up with the story kind of thing. More like, and almost even like historical writing journalism. Like it's like you're exploring different places and you're finding the history behind them, and then it's like you put together these pieces of work that's, you know, like a text document basically. And it's for whatever purpose for each traveling event that you're doing. But I feel like it's something that you're going to start doing kind of thing on the side to what you are doing, because of the amount of places that you guys are going to be going to over the next little while, that it's really going to open your eyes to like the history behind these places and like the actual like land and the history behind that kind of stuff too.
Nice.
Interesting. I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah. Very interesting. So is there any questions about anything that we've said at all so far, or any area that you want me to look into that I haven't?
Like, if I can ask, can you look into my, I don't know, like immediate coming up big changes, if any
like
are
next
occurring?
5 months kind of vibe?
Yeah. Like within the next little while, is there anything really big coming?
That would be the house thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would
Okay,
be
good.
the house coming in. Home ownership. I'm also feeling like expansion within family as well, immediate family.
Are you gonna have babies?
My wife's Catholic.
Well, that, you know, I'm the kind of person, and I know some people don't believe things this way or whatever, but I'm the kind of person that when I read things as an expansion, it can include a pet, it can include a baby. I look at my dog as my baby, so, you know.
Yeah.
Personally, I do feel this is more of like a child sort of thing, inclusion, as far as expansion going on. Yeah. I don't
The
feel
wedding
like
is in June, Joel. Keep your pants on.
Easy.
That's hilarious. Sorry. Didn't mean to
That
interrupt.
is very interesting, though. When it comes to the home situation, like the move and home ownership, I feel like it's like basically everything is falling together all at the right time. Now, the other thing, too, I do feel like a marriage situation is already sort of ongoing. Like it must be like a common law kind of situation.
Pretty much.
To be
Yeah,
able
pretty
to
much.
take it to that next step. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, they just
Because I
need
feel
the
like that next
certificate.
step comes very quickly too, like, but not as quick as these other announcements.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you tell me a little bit about the cards you have as well?
The cards
Oh, he doesn't
I
know.
have here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have what is called the Oracle deck from Threads of Fate. That's the box kind of thing there. That's the deck that I use for doing past life readings and stuff. And honestly, I just connect to this deck so much. It's the colors, the prints, just the way that it looks. But that is one of the cards that came out for you called Ask Body. And that's the card that gave me most of the information about like the way that you connect to your intimate self within your body, and saying how that's being blocked there. Now there's also the Observer card, which this card is the information that I got about past life situations in regards to the tribe, and the fact that you didn't really feel like you were like on a mission with the tribe. Nobody was trying to kill anybody. It wasn't like we're trying to fight for power kind of thing. It's like we're just there, right?
Yeah.
No, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, he's never seen Oracle decks before.
Yeah, I don't know what
I
that.
literally have like 40 of them.
I like to use too. So there's that. I use this one with Selena too. It's my favorite, one of the original decks that I ever started with. And I'll show you just a couple of the cards. That's the Sound card. So that's one of the first cards that popped out when I was saying all the stuff at the very beginning. And the Exploration card that came out blocked, in the negative reverse position kind of thing, which tells me that there was a block in that situation. But I don't read cards in the same way as most people do, so you kind of like, I think everybody does it in their own way, right?
Of course.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it. I remember when I first started doing my TikTok lives, I'd always pull Oracle oracle cards on my TikTok lives, and it was crazy to connect with these people all over the world and kind of do like a little bit of an inside look, which was incredible. But no, Valerie, thank you so much. It is always like the most interesting thing having you on. Can you please tell everyone where to find you?
Thank you guys for having me. And oh my gosh, if you ever want to do this again, let's do it.
Yeah, regular thing.
All those listeners out there, you can find me at www.thevalerieboyce.com or The Intuition Witch on Instagram.
Perfect.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Valerie, and you have an absolute wonderful week.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was crazy. Wow.
What did you think of that? Like,
almost too accurate, some of the things.
and some of it, like, of course, like, it gets a little too personal too sometimes, but like that's just a part of it.
Incredible. Like the low confidence thing. Like, I'll be open. I had confidence problems my whole life. I think we all have.
Yeah.
Like, spooky.
It is spooky. And even
Spooky.
like it was funny, like even like the intimate, like sexual kind of stuff, like you've never been comfortable talking about that kind of stuff.
You're not supposed to talk about it with people.
Right? No, but like that's just,
Let alone in front of millions.
It's interesting. It's interesting to just have these things validated that you never have. What do you think your past life? It wasn't, obviously we come back a lot, so you definitely could have been that.
This is true. I do, in case all the listeners don't know, where Celine and I have grown up in a rural town, there's like a huge conservation area, and I've spent an immense amount of my childhood, adulthood, I still go there all the time, playing in the woods.
Well, the interesting thing about you being down there was you would go down there, cut down trees, and make fucking forts. Like, you literally, like...
Secluded, alone, sort of a tribesman, if you were. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so isn't that interesting?
Like, it was in me even when I was a kid. That's really, really
Dude,
interesting. Really.
Yeah. Are you a little spooked out?
I had little chills there.
According to Valerie, before you get married, you're going to get pregnant.
Why? But the wedding is less than 9 months away, so...
Oh, this was the next 5 months, though. See, I can see him. He's so comfortable. I'm sorry.
You know how expensive this is going to be?
No, that was amazing. And having Valerie on is always a pleasure. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the 100th episode of The Haunted Estate. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you have show ideas, you want to send me your ghost stories, head over to thehauntedestate.com. And like usual, my co-host, little brother here, do we like him? Are we keeping him on?
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button. But guys, if you're listening to this podcast, the number one thing that you can do for me is head right into there. Scroll down, give me 5 stars, leave me a review, because hopefully you enjoyed this. And also, don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. That's where the video portion of this is. And honestly, I would really like if you watched my videos because, you know, subscribe. Anyways, guys, have a beautiful day, have a beautiful week, have the beautiful rest of your life, because hey, you don't hear from me often, but we see each other. Look at me looking at you, talking in your ear right now. No matter what is going on in your life, may it be bad, may it be good, no matter what is going on, if it is bad, everything can change tomorrow. It did for me. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be loved. Don't let yourself stay in situations that don't fulfill you and don't make you feel happy. So please, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I absolutely love you. Stay spooky, Boo Crew. Mwah. I know that you guys love true crime. Listen to Generation Y podcast on Amazon, Apple Music, Podcasts, or you can listen 1 week early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus on the Wondery app. There is not enough true crime out there to satisfy me, guys. Make sure that you check out podcast Generation Y.